Configuring Wide Area Network. The first step in configuring Wide Area Network or WAN is to gather and prepare. Gather the needed devices such as computer, router, and Ethernet cable. It is also important to plan where are you going to place your router in your house or workplace. Place the router in the central location of your home. If not possible, you can mount or place it in an area where most of the internet users stay most of the time. Router. A router will automatically handle assigning IP addresses to each device on the network and is necessary if you intend to share your internet connection with all the connected devices. It is highly recommended that you build your network with a router, even if you're not sharing an internet connection. Personal computer. A personal computer or PC is an electronic computer whose size, capabilities, and price make it feasible for individual use. PC is intended for end user rather than by a computer expert or by a technician. Ethernet cable. Ethernet cable are networking hardware used to connect one network device to the other network device or to connect two or more computers to share printer scanners and etc. Different types of network cables such as coaxial, fiber optic, twisted pair cables are used depending on the network's physical layer topology and size. The second step is to reset your router. Resetting of router is important to revert back its factory settings. You can use any small and pointed objects that can pass through the reset button. You can press and hold the reset button until all the lights are turned on. The third step is to establish right connection. Prepare your computer, Ethernet cable, and router. Make sure that the Internet Service Provider network cable is connected to the WAN port of the router. Next is to look for the Ethernet port of your computer. Using the Ethernet cable, connect the end to the router and the other end to your computer. Last is to connect the power cable to the router and plug it into their outlet. You must now see a light indicator to the router and computer's Ethernet port. The fourth step is to identify router's IP address. To identify the router's IP address, you need first to access the command prompt. For you to access the command prompt, you can press the Windows button and R button simultaneously. Type CMD and hit enter. You can use the command ipconfig to see your network configurations. So my IP address of my router is 192.168.100.1. Router's IP address is also known as the default gateway. The fifth step is to open router's web management page. Go to the computer's web browser and type the default IP address of your router. A login page will appear. Enter manufacturer's default username and password, then click Login. You can now see the WAN settings of your router. Click SSID settings to change the WAN name. Enter the name you want of your router, then click Submit. to security to change the password. Type the password you want to your router. You may use variety of combinations in your password for it to be difficult to crack. Then click submit. After configuration, you can now click log out and close the browser.